the cash flow quadrant. Where are you on the cash flow quadrant right now? Let's go through it. So, where most people are is they are an employee. Okay, they trade time for money. Is there any leverage in trading time for money? No. Are you going to become wealthy trading time for money? It's unlikely. Okay, now sure, some people have become wealthy. People who have a disciplined savings plan and investing, but it's hard because there's no leverage in it. There's only so many hours in a day. So the first thing that usually happens, the next level from an employee, we get into self-employed or a salesperson, someone who works on pure commission. Okay, basically this person now has a lot more potential upside. Okay, now I first started transitioning from an employee into someone who worked on sales commissions or was more self-employed. The first time I did this was in 2008, okay, late 2008. I had done some things before where little business ventures, but I became really obsessed with this idea of creating financial freedom. And I realized that up until that point, largely I'd been making my money by trading time for money. And a really good mentor of mine told me that, look, if you want to become wealthy, learn to sell. Okay, learn to sell. A business is a system. Okay, in one end of it, you put in leads. On the other end comes out money. Okay, paying customers. It is a system. It is a system that can work all night long, even while you're sleeping. It is scalable. It doesn't depend on time to work. Okay, that is what separates a business from a job. The next level up from business owner is investor. Now, rather than operating or owning a business, now we are allocating funds into different businesses. The next speaker is really, really good at this. Okay, so you're going to hear from him in just a moment. So a question that I always ask myself when I'm going about creating wealth, this is what I always love to ask myself. Am I building a pipeline right now, or am I still carting buckets? Who's ever heard of this little story? Okay, who's heard of this? Okay, for those of you who haven't, there were two guys and they lived in this village, and this village had no water. In fact, the nearest water was about 3 miles away. Okay, now one of them starts walking to the river. 3 times a day, he makes the long trek. It's 3 miles each way. He's got a big stick with 2 buckets and he carries it 3 times a day from the river back to the town, sells it. He gets paid instantly. Okay, he gets paid for what he produces. He gets paid every day. What quadrant is he in? Yeah, he's towards that side. He's the employee. He's trading his time for money. Okay, now he can only do 3 trips per day. If he works really, really hard, he can maybe do 4. But he's trading his time for money. Now the other guy doesn't do anything for the first few months. In fact, no one sees him. They think, what's this guy doing? This guy's maybe he's either lazy or he's slack. Where is he? A few months later, he turns on a tap and he's built a pipeline from the river to the town. Now that pipeline continues to work even when he's not there. In fact, even while he sleeps, it continues to produce water. Now in your life, when it comes to creating wealth, you are either carting buckets, which 99% of people are. Okay, they're all trading their time for money. No leverage in that, or you are creating a pipeline. So ask yourself that, okay, am I creating a pipeline right now? One of these will lead to wealth and the other will lead to you being on that hamster wheel for the rest of your life.